the Delaware Bluecoats.
Tony Cutillo, Coach Joe Richmond, the Bluecoats be here by the Delaware Bluecoats and Heat Ratio Sports. And Joe, man, you are a tough guy to find, man. You're on planes, you're on red eyes, you're all over the country, man. What is going on, Coach?
Tony, what's going on? You know it's your boy, Coach Joe, Ambassador Basketball for your NBA G League champion, 2022-23 G League champ, Delaware Bluecoats. Yo, man, we just been rocking, man. We just been rocking, man. You know, for one thing I love about Alex and Larry, I love being with people that got a plan. That's why me and you get along so good, Tom. You got a plan, and you always have it written down, which makes it so simple. You know, some people just be throwing stuff off the top of their brain. Man, nobody got time. There's too much stuff going on in that. But no, man. You know, Summer League started, man, and it was a whirlwind. Got to be out there for 2 games, Sixers, Detroit Pistons, Sixers, San Antonio Spurs. And it was good because the Spurs had Jameer Nelson's son was on their team for the Summer League team, and our own Terquavian Smith, he was on the San Antonio team, G League team. So it was just to see guys that played with us, see them still getting their opportunity, still getting their shot to prove that they belong in that next level, which everybody wants to get to, which is the NBA. It does my heart good because I always have a personal relationship with a lot of the players, and you know, because I get to see their families and this, that, and the third as the ambassador. It really was good to see them and see family out there. So it's always good to get to Vegas. I don't care. I don't gamble. I'm not a gambler. Listen, I was out there for 9 days. I ain't put one nickel in the machine, not a penny.
That's discipline, man. I don't know if I can do that.
I ain't got NBA money. I got G League money. I ain't got NBA money.
Well, if you got G League money, I must have like Pee Wee baseball money, man. So I don't know what that's about. But, let's get some big props out. Lauren Rosen and Matt Murphy for Summer League coverage, man. They do a phenomenal job. They had Nick Nurse on, they have Ricky on, they had Joe, like they had everything. They had the coverage. It's fantastic. Make sure you're following them as well because they're always putting stuff out. And Coach, speaking of the summer, man, this was like the Ricky Council summer takeover, man. Like he was ESPN, highlight reels, NBA.com. I mean, man, getting excited like I am, man.
Yo, when you talk about genuine, and shout out to D. Lynham, her and Matt Murphy got to be special guest speakers at a symposium out there. So Matt Murphy, my guy, Matt just my guy. That like Matt and D and Lauren, they just the best, man. I ain't saying that because what the young people say, no cap, not because we know them and they run us, but you know they just really just excel at what they do. They do it with such a passion, and not just saying knowledgeable, but Ricky is just a story unlike anything. You know what I mean? Like you go from a Haywood Highsmith to a Ricky Council, and you look at what we do with the Bluecoats and the people that we've put out, you know, out to the Champagnes of the world and the Matt McClung's of the world. You see the opportunities that we present to these young people. And right, we always talk about the culture, right, Tone? You know, what you do is a culture to what you do. There's a character that you put into it. There's integrity that you put into it, right? There's so much authenticity that you put into it. And all those words make up Ricky Council. It makes up his family, his brother. It makes up all of them. And this brother is so humble. And I love him with all my heart. You know, I don't get close to a lot of players, but Ricky just one of those guys. How can you not get close to him? And to see him be rewarded for the hard work by the coaching staff and those, and a lot of people who can say what they want to say. But I always say Daryl Morey played chess while everybody playing checkers. Him and Elton and those guys, they just find those diamonds. What is the G League for if you don't reward those that are right in your backyard? And we have done it. We have done it at such a high level with our two-way players. Jeff Doughton is back with us. I mean, come on, man.
Yep.
Come on, the proof is in the pudding, right? You know, we had a Jaden Springer who went on and won a championship with Boston, but he was a product of our culture, our teaching. Delaware Bluecoats, that was our great coaching staff. That was Prosper, Jameer, you know, Coach Kobe Carl, Coach Longo. That was us doing all these things. And, you know, it was just a beautiful thing. And When Ricky was everywhere. I think he might come and do your show soon.
We gotta get him on there, man. We were really touting this young man since he came here because you could just tell when players are driven to succeed. All right, you could tell when finally he got the contract he deserved, right? And technically, he really didn't have to play like he did in the summer league. Right? That should show you. People don't understand that. He got paid, man. So, like, I'm not saying he got a ton of money, but he got rewarded. He got a contract. So people have to understand, technically, Joe, he didn't have to go out there and play all those minutes and play like he did, but he played like a dog. You could just tell how driven he is.
Yeah, he had to be diving on the floor. Nobody would have said that. He had to be chasing them basketballs down. No, but you could tell if you really looked at the summer league and you looked over at that Sixer bench, you could see the G League coaches, you could see our trainers, you could see we just have a culture like none other. Like, I'm not speaking against any other organization. They just walk it like they talk it. It's not like, oh, we the Sixers and they the Blue Coats and hey, we got to do, you got to go outside and get those veterans because that's the NBA. But man, you look at the players that they rewarded in the G League, like Baisley played with the Sixers. Kenny Lofton was with the Sixers. Turquavian was the Sixers. Jeff Dowtin, right? I'm going, like, they really pull from out of their G League.
It's huge, man. And it's one of the reasons. I mean, you talked earlier, you mentioned Daryl Morey. You mentioned about how he was playing chess where everybody else was playing checkers. And there was a lot of people, they were clamoring for Morey to trade all those assets, get rid of those second round picks. And I kept saying, listen, you understand, with the culture that we have here with the G League, with the Blue Coats and the Sixers, those second round, they are assets to us because we turn them. Listen, like great Mark Zumoff said, turning garbage to gold, right? It's the same thing. And they're not garbage. It says obviously a statement, but you're taking these players who are underdeveloped and you're buying into that culture. You mentioned with Longo, head coach Mike Lombardi. I mean, listen, CPR method, Joe. This is interesting. So everybody knows, found this. He has a CPR method. So I'm going to play a clip for everybody, and it's only a minute and a half long. This is him at Coaching University. He was speaking to all prospective coaches, and he has a CPR method. Listen to this. It's pretty interesting. And no, it's not like a machine. It's a CPR method. Listen to Coach talking to his perspective, his prospects coming up.
How am I planning my practice? I go CPR. I want to be consistent. I want to be consistent every day with my preparation. I want to be consistent with my energy and effort. Jeff Van Gundy told me this line for your staff and your assistants: high work, low maintenance. Tyronn Lue told me as a head coach, you can never have a day off. You can never have a bad day. You got to bring the energy, right? You're driving the bus. If you have a team where they police themselves, those are special. I was fortunate in Boston. We had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Those guys were amazing. James Posey. They policed each other. That's special. But as coaches, right, don't always get those opportunities. So we're the one that's driving the bus. We got to bring it every day, and they're going to be a reflection of you. I really, really believe that. The next thing we're going to do is P for purpose. Everything that we do has purpose in our planning. Every offensive drill is a defensive drill. Every defensive drill is an offensive drill. We want to be a two-way team. Look at the Boston Celtics. They are the poster child of what a two-way team looks like. They have obviously high talent, but they play both sides of the ball. So if you want to win and be successful, you have to emphasize both, and you have to be good at both if your aspirations are to win and win big. And then the last thing is for rhythm, okay? We want to have rhythm to what we do. Offensively, quick decisions, right? Pace. Get the ball up the court before the defense is set. And then defensively, we want to disrupt rhythm. Like we talked about, ball pressure, contesting shots, pushing all these catches out.
That is right there. Our coach, not a Blue Coats, the CPR method. I mean, listen, he breaks it down, man. That's courtesy of Coaching You. You follow him at coaching_you on X, coachingyoulive.com. That is when he was out there in July. Okay. And he was talking to these young coaches, and consistency, purpose, and rhythm, Joe. I mean, 3 golden points of emphasis right there.
And I get the pleasure of being with him all the time, and I never get tired because he has that energy that I have. So we always we see each other Oh, he's like you say, I love seeing you, Coach Joe, because you just always energy. You always smile. You always laugh. You always ready to break. And also, Coach Longo has another thing that he talks about a lot. He came and spoke at the Blue Coats basketball camp we had earlier this year at the field house, and he talked about behavior over words. I thought that was so on point for our young people. Like, we know what you say, but what is your behavior? You're saying you're going to be on time, but your behavior shows you was late. Saying you're going to, go hard, but, every time we do a drill, the line is here. You stop here. So behavior over words. And, most people, that's who I am. I go over people's behavior. I don't go over a lot of this. And that's what Coach Longo talks about. And the CPR is truly the most amazing acronym, and it fits him with his coaching style and how he goes about his business at the field house every day.
Actions speak louder than words, right? I mean, it's the old cliche. It's so true. You talk a big game, you talk the talk, but can you walk the walk, right? The famous, to beat a man, you got to beat the man, right? I mean, that's an old wrestling term. You know who that is. I don't even have to mention his name because he is one of the goats. But looking at it, it just goes back to our previous discussion when we first started the Blue Coats beat on how this organization has really put themselves up on another level to bring these guys in and thrust them to that roster. That's why we don't really miss a beat, man. I mean, you watch it with the Philadelphia Phillies. They have injuries. Guys will come off the bench. And guess what? Guys will come up from the minor leagues. And the first thing they would say is, wow, this is the same kind of atmosphere. Well, when we're in one unit and you have cohesion within your organization as a whole, that's what happens, and that's what we do here. And I think that's what's so good about Coach Longo, right? I mean, you hear it, and now he's sharing it to other people. So it's almost like the Blue Coats way, and now it's getting out there on a bigger spotlight too.
Tony, honestly, there is the Blue Coats way. We say that all the time. There's a way we do things. And we do things, Alex always says, make the main, him and Larry, make the main thing, right? What's our excellence? That's our main thing, whether it's where we store our stuff and how we keep our storage area, whether it's how we keep the locker room, right? Whether it's how we keep the laundry room and where all the stuff is how, from the office, you should always look the same. And it's the same way. You go to Camden and they have the same excellence all the way down. Right? You walk by someone is speaking to you. No one is acting, someone's looking you in your eyes. Someone is addressing you. It's an attitude that we have about being excellent and being engaged with one another at all times. You walk down the highway, nobody refuses a high five. You know what I mean? Like, it don't matter if it don't matter if it's Darryl Morey or Mr. Blitzer. You know what I mean? Don't matter. You get a high five, man. This is what we're here for. Why did we show up today? And, and I love that energy from you. Like, from once Monday hit, it's like you're on go. Hey, Joe, we ready? You got, like, it's Thursday, and I'm getting the energy, the energy I got today, I got on Thursday. On Monday, you know what I mean? And that's what it's about, man. And way more than I do, even in the world that you're in. People feed on energy. And the one thing I love about our coaches, and I learn and I teach to my young guys at the CYBL, my community youth basketball league, is energy and effort. We can teach you everything else, but you got to bring the energy and the effort. We can teach you how to box out. We can teach you how to bounce back. We can teach you all that stuff. But energy and effort, I'd rather get a kid that's not talented, but got energy and effort. Because that kid I can use on defense. And I get me 20 points a 10. But I guarantee you, if I tell him to go he gonna stop that basketball. He gonna go get those rebounds, all the little things that we can teach. He's gonna bring that energy and effort to it. And that's what I love. And CPR and behavior over words, that's Coach Mike Longo to a T.
CPR and behavior over words. And we haven't talked. So speaking of behavior, the behavior in the off season was historic. I haven't talked to you, man. Like I had to do a solo episode because you weren't around, which is cool, right? I gave my opinion. So everybody heard me speak. So they don't need to hear me speak about the PG-13 signing, okay? The Paul George signing, because listen, this off season, I still don't know how they did it. We watched Howie Roseman do it, for the Eagles. Everybody says they have no money. Next thing you know, they can do everything they need to do. Daryl Morey just did it. We still have assets. And Coach Joe, I'll tell you, man, like PG-13, I don't care what his age is. What he did last year, he had the best year of his career.
We're gonna call this episode right. We're gonna call this part of the show Rapid Fire. You throw me a name, from the all season. I'm gonna go for it. Let's go.
All right, Eric Gordon.
Veteran that knows what he's supposed to do, knows his role, can knock down a shot. He's a big body, so he can also help on defense. And I know he's going to probably be a part of that second unit or wherever, because the way Coach Nurse is, he just called your number and you got to be ready to go. So I love that Eric Gordon pick.
Now, how about the big contract? Tyrese Maxey.
No brainer.
I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. Caleb Martin.
That's a dog. We already had Kelly Oubre that's a dog. We just put another dog in the house, and this dog knows how to play, and he's a professional, and I think he's bringing a winning attitude because, you know, they have a crazy culture just like us, so it falls right in what we want to do.
I'll take about big man's Andre Drummond.
Oh, I just hated to see my guy B-Ball Paul go, but that was 100% a strategic chess move, well needed, a veteran. The locker room needs his presence, and I'm gonna go out and venture to say Joel will benefit from his presence and his maturity and his leadership, and that's what the big fella needs. Sometimes the big fella needs a big fella to help him out, and now he has someone that's been there, and I know Drummond already respects him so I know it's going to be something that's going to be so beautiful to see.
Now, you kind of gave it away, but I have to ask you because I think this guy, in my opinion, was the most important signing of them all because he just kind of ties everything in, whether it be on the bench or in the starting lineup, is Kelly Oubre.
I loved him from day one. I loved him when he was everywhere else. And we all know Kelly could have took more money and went somewhere else. So that just tells you that may have been in the locker room every day, and he knows what's going on. He's around the management. He's around the coaches, and he decided to take less money and be with us. So that tells you all you need to know about him, not only as a ball player and a professional, but as a person.
All right, got two more, man. I'm curious about this one. Reggie Jackson.
When I saw that, I thought it was fake news. Yeah. Because I ain't going to lie. How do you get rid of him? I'm not letting – if I got a Reggie Jackson, I need that. For whatever he can bring to the table, I need that. And when I saw that we got him, and man, you talk about giving Maxey a break,
I know,
an authentic break, and not count. You know, you still got your Jeff Doughtons out there that can get some minutes here and do some stuff defensively and off. But to get Reggie Jackson, I don't want to jinx us, but
that was a juggling act right there, man.
We are going to enjoy him being with us, and we won't get nervous if we got to sit Tyrese for some load management situations and things of that nature, just to rest him, because we got someone that can step in along with Eric Gordon, Jeff, Ricky. We got guys right there that can make up for our Maxey getting the rest here and there.
Yeah, listen, and you know, Kyle Lowry benefits from this too. Man, Kyle Lowry's a dog. And here's the thing: now you get, instead of 15 minutes of Kyle Lowry, you can get a full out 5 to 7 minutes, that's key, Joe.
A 5 to 7 minute Kyle Lowry at this stage in his career is like him being 20, 30 years old again. You're not asking him for much, so you're not wearing tearing on his body. And when he brings you from here, we're not talking physical, we're talking right here, what's between his ears. What Kyle Lowry knows, he's like a coach out there. And I love it because once again, we can give Tyrese those pockets of rest that will and not lose anything, and we'll only gain. So I'm loving. I can only imagine in the practices with that look. Oh my God, I would just let him be in there.
I'm telling you, man, it is exciting. And again, let's be honest. It is hard to not be disappointed when the season ends. It's okay to be a fan and be disappointed. We're supposed to be. The damn players were disappointed, right? I get it, but it's like this needed to happen. This whole thing, this whole rebranding, so to speak, of the team needed to happen from the bench to the rookies to obviously the starting lineup, and it's huge. And that brings rookies. I got last one, Joe, because I think it's Jarrett McCain. I got to ask you about McCain. Be in his range, man. What are you thinking about McCain?
Before I answer that, when you went back to being disappointed, when I first got with the Sixers, the first thing I told them, and when I sat in the office before I signed my piece of paper, I said, let me let y'all know now before I do anything so y'all can make a decision. I'm a fan first, employee second.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've been with them since, Mo Cheeks and Bobby. I mean, I'm Caldwell Jones in them days, baby. Like, you ain't gonna tell me about my Sixers. I done missed school for the Sixers. When you talk about disappointed, listen, ain't nobody more disappointed than our executives down to the salespeople. Like, we take this personal. It ain't just about, we get the paycheck, we get to wear this. I might get fired for saying this. Okay, it is. But I'm telling you, everybody, like, they give us the day off. Everybody disappointed. We bleed the Sixers. And McCain, just getting back to that, seeing him in Summer League, I was like, yeah, this young man, with all the previous guards we just talked about, this is who he gets to learn from. You imagine being Jared McCain and you looking at Kyle Lowry, you looking at Jeff Dowtin, young guy just like you, who you can look at and see. You looking at Eric Gordon. You looking at Reggie Jack. Are you kidding me? Not even talk about you get to sit there and learn from Tyrese Maxey. You get to see his speed and his craftiness up close and personal and bringing all that he brings just on his own. When you come from the blue blood programs, you come with a certain air about you. You come with a certain confidence about you. And you come with a certain maturity about you. And you can see all of that in Summer League. You can see all of that in Summer League. And that kid, man, he just had a confidence about him. And you could tell when he was out there being on that team. Love everything about him. I hope, that I get an opportunity to actually physically meet him and shake his hand. Because that's what I like to do with most of these young people. But he's going to be something special for us. And the kid is a sniper.
I'm telling you, man, I was actually blown away. Like, I'll be honest with you. I know a ton about him. And, right away, everybody's talking about, how does he fit? Why did they get another guard? This and that, blah, blah. But I don't even think, like you just said, to me, it's not about the position. It's about what's up here, right? It's the mindset, it's the basketball acumen, the basketball IQ, the maturity. You play with in front of the Cameron Crazies, and you're coming in here in Philadelphia, right? So you already have that. Now, here's interesting. So Jay Bilas, the great Jay Bilas, he talked about for about 50 seconds on Jared McCain. As soon as he was picked, this is exactly what Jay Bilas said. It's pretty telling.
Jared McCain is a winner, and he's one of the hardest workers you're ever going to see. And he's got an infectious personality and a spirit and an attitude that you just frankly don't see that often. On the court, he's an ultra competitive killer, an outstanding shooter. Even though he's small, McCain is just 6'2", and he doesn't have crazy long arms or anything. But McCain gets in there and rebounds. He's tough, he's physical, and he's really strong. But he's just got that trait of being a winner and being a leader. And he had games for Duke this last year where he just took over, at Florida State in the NCAA tournament, scoring over 30. He's an outstanding player. The only downside, if you will, is he's not bigger. You wish he was bigger. If you're good enough, you're big enough. And Jared McCain is good enough.
I love what he just said, Joe. If you're good enough, you're big enough. And then I took away ultra competitive killer. And everything about that 50 seconds, that just breathes Philly, man.
But you know what? And like I said, I was at the games, right? I'm sitting right there and I'm watching. Understands the offense, what was put in, understood the purpose of what was put in, right? CPR, right? That second one, that purpose, right? CPR, that, right? Consistent, right? Consistent, competitive, all those things, right? The purpose, right there, the rhythm, correct, right? He had a rhythm about him. He never looked like he was off balance, so to speak. Defensively, he never looked like he was lost. Did he did some rookie things? Yes, jump in the air, some passes, yada, yada, yada. But by the time he got to that game, when I came back and seen him in San Antonio, you could see the polishedness of his game. You could see that went out the game and he's sitting on the bench, he's engaged, he's talking to coaches, he's getting, and then when he goes back out there. And the one thing I loved about him more than anything, I seen him make like a crucial turnover, but he never got rattled. You never see, he didn't have that, what I call the dumb look. He wasn't looking at the referees like somebody made him do that. He know he made the mistake. He got back on defense, came back down like it never happened. And that's what I thought I loved about him more than anything. Like, he wasn't a referee guy, if that makes sense. It was a turnover, it was a loss, or He wasn't a referee guy every 5 seconds just looking for the refs like, yo, like he realized it and got back on D. So that's the little things that I saw about him that I love. That this generation, you see it every 2 seconds. They looking for the ref for everything, right? Nobody makes a mistake, right? Nobody just turn the ball over. I hear what Jay is saying, but when I'm talking, a lot of it's analytics, but I'm an eye test guy. I'm still old school. I'd say if he had 30 possessions, I'd probably say took 2 shots that he probably wished he had back his daggone self.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm old school too, man. I say it all the time when people say, what do you think? I'm like, look, I need to watch him play. Like I've always said that. Like I don't know how guys can talk about a game that they never watched. I need to watch the play. I need to watch the mannerisms. I need to watch. Like I'm watching baseball. Are they hustling? Are they taking the right move to the ball? Basketball. Are they got the right assignments? Are they up at somebody's grill? Like there's so many different. You have to watch that. So I'm with you, man. The eye test is huge. And you know what? The eye test is going to help too, Joe. And I know you're there, man. We got some open tryouts coming out for the Delaware Blue Coats, right? We got a bunch of dates. We got Saturday, September 7th at the Chase Fieldhouse. We got Saturday, 21st at the Six-Man Center, and Saturday, September 28th, Delaware State University. Joe, what goes on at these tryouts, man? Like, talk to the people. Like, how do these tryouts come about? Do people, you have any success stories from these tryouts that you could talk about?
Chris Clark came right from a tryout, man. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. I truly believe put more people in the league from a tryout than any other team. Probably maybe San Antonio's couple others do it with just as well. But we find some diamonds in the rough tryout guys. We've had about 3 or 4 in the last 2-3 years come through the tryout and actually make the team, actually pay their money and make the team. And that 7th September 7th at the field house is going to be special because it's home. It's always special it's always good when you start at home and get it all out and get all the kinks out and things of that nature. And I know we're very reasonable and we give guys an authentic shot. It's not like Jameer just sitting there. No, Jameer is engaging everyone. Coach Longo is engaging everyone. Coach Ryan is engaging everyone. Coach J, they're engaging. That's what I like about it. It's not like you go to some of these tryouts and they're looking for one. No, they're all over. They looking for who they need to look for. They're doing their due diligence. We have great coaches. That's the one thing. It's not like somebody we found on the street and gave them a T-shirt and said, hey, go coach these teams. No, but all these guys come through our system, so to speak. We have a roster of coaches that we utilize every year. And most of our coaches that we utilize, they're assistant coaches to our main coaches and our assistant coaches. So like I said, once again, Prosper, Jameer, even from Elton, we've always had a system. We've always had a way of how we did things. And it goes back to that CPR, right? We've always done things consistently with a purpose and with a rhythm, right? And this is part of it. So being at the Six-Man Center, the Six-Man that be at the Sixers games, you know what I mean? And he has a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful facility right there. I want to say Wissahickon and Huntington up in Philly, right next to the Kroc Center in Philadelphia. Coming right off the highway. It's right off the Wissahickon Highway. Beautiful facility, 6 courts. We're going to be utilizing 3 of them. We're going to be getting up and down the court, and we're excited about. And in Delaware State, we've been there a year or so ago, and that's just a beautiful facility. They give us so much love down there. We've gotten some great kids that's been down there. I don't know if you know about the OBL, the one-on-one league that Tracy McGrady has. Yes. We actually brought his players that played in that league. They came and tried out. They were at Delaware State. Tracy McGrady scholarship. There's guys that won the championship, regional guys, runner-up guys, and he sent like 5 or 6 kids to that tryout. Do our due diligence and going through all the guys and saying and disseminating the talent and how we want to do it. So once again, we're back and we're looking for that diamond in the rough. We found a Chris Clark. Who will be next?
Who will be next? Will it be you? It will be next. You never know. You listen to this. It would be you. And I think, Coach Sean, I think maybe we got to figure this out, but maybe we should set up a little Blue Coats beat at one of these tryouts. Maybe, set up a microphone. We'll talk about it, get some guys on them. You know what I mean? I think that's a plan.
Hey, Tony, do me a favor. Stop thinking and let's make it happen.
I like that, right? I like, actions speak louder than words, right?
That would be fire, Tony.
I think
So,
we should open it up at the field house, man.
look, man, we got the space and you got the equipment. Let's make it happen. We're doing it right now, and it's already done.
There we go. Look, it's locked down, man. It's locked down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man. We're locked and loaded.
Yo, that's what we do. That's what we do, right? That's what we do with the Blue Coach beat. You know, that's what we do. We give everybody the opportunity. We give you the information. We give you everything that we can. We don't hide nothing over here. We're very transparent. We're not cynical, right? We just try to be as honest as we. Adding that, Tony, that's just genius right there. So thank you for bringing it up. We got a lot of work to do.
We're going to go to work. So on that note, we're going to go to work. Everybody else going to go to work. This was the brand new episode of Blue Coats Beat. Make sure you give us a follow. Make sure you're following the podcast, man. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. It's very, very simple. All you need to do is click follow. That's it. Very simple. That's it. You're going to love the content. We can see the content now, obviously, on YouTube, whether it be the Blue Coats, Delaware Blue Coats YouTube page, the Heat Ratio Sports YouTube page. We got reels going. We got social media activity. Everything's here on a Blue Coats Beat. So we're going to catch you next time. It'll be before the open tryouts. We'll have another episode coming. And who knows, we're going to talk about that. Who knows what's going to come up next? As always, for Tony, for Coach Joe, for the Blue Coats family, everybody get their coats on, and we'll catch you back for another episode next time.